Okay, welcome to Bill-O-Gami. Today we're going to make a kind of a two-parter in order to make this cross. It's my own design, and I think you're really going to like it. It can be good for special presents and just for yourself, just to be able to make and have around your house. It's got its own little stand, so it'll stand up on its own. Now, in order to make it, it takes 8 fairly crisp dollar bills. Here's what we'll be using today anyway. Here's 8 bills. They're all folded the same way. I use the back side. I think that creates the best look for the finished cross. However, if you want to use the other side, you can use that. They all have to be folded exactly alike. They all have to have 5 edges, 5 sides, and they all have to be approximately 1/2 inch in length for each one of the sides. We'll show you how to make those in just a second. First off, I'll give you a rough idea of, how this thing is put together. We've got the base, and that's actually 2 pieces. And then there's each one of the bottom support. And that one has got a piece inside keeping them together. Each one of those are separate. And then we've got the 2 sides, one on each one, obviously, and then the very top of the cross. So those are the 8 pieces we're going to be making. You might also want to have some kind of a ruler with you, just if you're not sure on making the, 1/2 inch. I tend to, from doing this quite a few times, don't use a ruler anymore, because generally a bill, this little edge is 1/4 inch. So if you go 1/4 inch in further, you hit this little white line on the back side of it. So in order to make all of these tubes, what we do is we just fold that over at that white line, which is about 1/2 inch. And then we got to get 4 other ones, so I fold that end up. And you can do this any other way you want. You don't have to do it this way. And then we fold this one back. And then what I do is I fold that one back like that. So we get kind of a little accordion, but they're all 1/2 inch in size. Then, of course, we've got to reverse a couple of these other ones. So I just turn them this way, and then of course I can easily just go like this, fold that one back, and what have I got? I've got my tube, my 5-sided tube. Now when it comes to these tubes, you have to make sure that you are consistent, and either you pick for the side that's going to be exposed all the way around the cross. You have to either pick this side, which is the lighter side, or you can also make it, if you'd rather, for something a little different, you can use this side here, but you just have to be consistent with this. That's one thing about making this. Now, as far as each one of these corners, there's actually 3 folds that we have that you need to learn. They're all pretty simple, but nevertheless, you might want to practice them separately in order to show them to you, hopefully, so that it's easy for you to see. I'm just kind of using these oversized bills. And what I'll do is, the first one I'll show you is how to make this fold here. I'm not going to dwell on the width of them or the depth of them, the sizes. Just going to show you how to make these folds. What you do is you have the 2 ends, the top and the bottom end, you have that folded in, and then you, at the point where you want this corner to be, you fold that over, give it a good crease, and then you on the longest end, you just fold this over at a 45-degree angle. Then from, fold over both pieces. You got both two pieces there. And then you do the same thing on this side. And here's what you got. You got, basically this side here, right here. Then after you've measured off the correct distance, which we'll go into on part 2, we fold this over. And here again, we go like this, 45 degrees, here 45 degrees, and basically that's what we've got. Now what you want to remember is that you fold it on this side so that there's, where the piece will slide in, there's an opening there. If you were to do it the other way, there wouldn't be that opening. The opening would be on this side. So you want to put it on the longest side. That's where you want to do this fold, these two 45-degree angle folds. Now then, the next thing, when this is true on all of them, is that then what we have to do, once we get it this far, then we take and we fold up the end that you want on the bottom and just collapse it. So it looks like this. Then we take the other side and lap it over it like this so that it is solid. You got a solid edge all around it. So basically that's this piece here, randomly sized. The next one is the one that's on each one of these side pieces, and actually on this very top piece, plus it's on the bottom piece too, this little bottom piece that slides in between these two pieces here. The one that slides into here, that one, it's got that angle there. So we got to use this next fold. We got to use that 4 times. So once again, we take the tube, open it up, and instead of folding it over this away, we're going to fold it over this away. Now these you tend to fold right in the middle because we'll be shortening these sides as need to the needed lengths. So we've got it folded over like this. Now what we do is we make another 45-degree angle, only we make it kind of like that. And then we do it on both sides here. And just in order to make sure that it's perfectly even, a lot of times what I'll do is fold this over like this so that I can be sure that this angle is, that it's just right. And the same way with this one, this side over here, kind of open that up. Paper is pretty rigid. Yeah, that's okay. So basically I've got it so that both of these, it's a continuous line across here. So I know that that's pretty good. Okay, I fold this over like that. So this is what I got. That other step you don't have to do. You can do it if you want, if it make it easier for you. Otherwise, you could just reverse fold them all in. Then what we do is we fold this up and this up. And basically, that's it, because then we turn it on its side and open it up, and we get something that looks kind of like an I-beam, like that. And as you can see, we've got, the same look as in all these other pieces. Now, of course, we do the same thing that we did before. In order to fill in all these sides, we just simply open it up and let it collapse. Sometimes, you got to learn to push in with your fingers there to make sure it collapses right. And we do one side, then we grab the other side, and again, push it down, and just slide it over like that, and bingo, there we go. We got both sides all filled in. So that takes care of those four folds. Finally, let's do the last fold. And that's the fold that's kind of like a reverse fold. It's on these two, and then it's also on, we got to do it in a smaller scale on that very top piece, because it's got the same kind of fold down here. So what we do with how we make that fold, and this is something you can practice, is again, we take our pre-folded tubes and we open them. In this case, we open them up completely, and at the point where we want to make the fold, like right here, we fold this over completely and make a nice, nice straight line. And we don't have these tops and bottoms folded in. It's completely flat. Then what we do is we make a 45-degree fold on the center edge, like this. And we do that on both sides. Oops, that one's kind of crooked. Kind of rushing along here a little bit. Okay, so we got that on both sides. Now what we do is we'll give it another little crease on this way. Is now what we do is we fold this over. See what I did? I just got this center line. It's now goes the other way. And we just fold it over like that on both sides. And this is basically, the angle that we want. That's the same angle as this one. Now, in order to get it all tucked in, what we do if we open it up is we pinch the bottom here, and then just kind of push out a little bit so that it looks like this. And we do that, and then you can actually give it a little crease right there too if you want. So it'll look like this on this side, and then we do the same thing on the other side. We just fold that up, make sure you got good creases, and you do the same thing. And that comes out looking the same way as that. Now, what we do, of course, we have to pick the right side, is we just tuck that thing in right into there and then push it over, and there we have it. That's it. Just a couple of folds. This one's not perfectly horizontal. It's close. There we go. And those are the folds. Now what I'm going to do is start another video and show you the exact proportions you need to do. And for that one, what we'll be doing is we'll be working with the real dollars, because proportions are important as to the length. You've got to make sure that these are the exact same length, or else obviously it's not going to look right at all. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching this half, and then before you start the other one, if you want to grab just some paper and make them, create some tubes and maybe practice a couple of these folds, that might be a good idea to do, unless you're really, really confident and you want to just jump right into making this cross, right away. Alrighty, thanks a lot. Be sure you subscribe. Bye.